Well, they are the most despised criminals, those who prey on children. Now the government is moving on predators the moment they arrive in Australia before they have a chance to commit their crimes.
We will get you on the next flight back to where you came from.
We don't want these people here. We don't want them being anywhere near our kids.
Tonight, we take you behind the scenes to show you how Border Force is catching so many of these creeps.
We can pull all of the data on that phone, whether that be a photograph or a WhatsApp message or an email.
The work being done at our borders and abroad.
We've stopped close to 100 pedophiles from getting on planes to come to Australia.
It's a Sunday morning at Brisbane Airport, and that woman with her child in a stroller has no idea who she's standing behind. He's a 28-year-old Indian national who's just flown in from China. Dripping in gold jewellery, he's flagged by Border Force officers at passport control and taken away for his phone to be searched. He nervously paces while he waits, perhaps knowing what dirty secrets they might discover. An officer returns to inform him they've found sickening videos of children being abused. All he can do is hang his head in shame. His visit to Australia is over.
If we've brought someone in from overseas and they've been found to have this child exploitation material, then we will have grounds to cancel their visa and we won't allow them into the country.
Here's another one busted, this time at Melbourne Airport. He's a 22-year-old Chinese national arriving on a flight from Guangzhou. Border Force officers take him away to search his luggage and discover 2 mobile phones. He tries to talk his way out of it, but a download reveals the devices contain child exploitation material. He too is booted out.
There's 2 pathways for that. We will get you on the next flight back to where you came from, and if we can't do that straight away, then we will hold you in detention until such time as we can do that.
This creep is wandering through Sydney Airport, seemingly not a care in the world as he heads towards duty-free. He's from Sierra Leone but lives in Indonesia and just flew in from Jakarta. Officers at passport control flag a problem and he's marched away to be searched. Again, they find 2 mobile phones containing horrific images and videos of child abuse. He's taken away to a detention centre to await deportation.
Some people genuinely believe that this is not a crime. This is a crime, and the Australian community, quite frankly, will not put up with it.
Danielle Yiannopoulos is a Border Force regional commander based in Sydney. Today, she's showing us what happens behind the scenes to stop these criminals.
So when you're searching through their luggage, what are the kind of things that you're looking for?
So we might be looking for things such as magazines. We're particularly looking at electronic devices, so phones, laptops, those kinds of things, USBs.
When a suspect device is found, it's taken into this room for specialist investigators to begin the digital search.
And once you plug one of these, a suspect phone, into these computers, so it will reveal everything that's on that phone?
Yes, it does. Yeah, we can pull all of the data on that phone, whether that be a photograph or a WhatsApp message or an email.
So even if these people are trying to hide these images in some weird app or something like that, you guys will find that in here.
We have fantastic technology here that obviously I'm not going to show you, but fantastic technology that does get to the depths of the phone.
Border Force officers operate behind a curtain to shield other staff from the disgusting material they're searching for.
Your officers who are looking at this, they must see some pretty horrific stuff in here.
Yeah, look, they do, and it's never an easy job for a Border Force officer to do, but we do provide a significant amount of training to our officers. We also ensure that they have welfare checks in place.
Once the suspect images are discovered, they are downloaded and the offender is taken into one of these interrogation rooms for questioning.
By the time they come in here, they're usually starting to get nervous. These creeps are used to lurking in the darkest corners of the web, but they're about to be exposed.
Look, I think it would be fair to say that these kinds of people do get quite nervous.
Watch the heavy breathing as this 67-year-old Australian man is stopped trying to depart Brisbane for Europe. His bags are searched and officers locate a laptop, phone and 2 USB drives containing more than 200 sickening images.
What are some of the excuses that these people will come up with for how this material got on their phone?
Oh, look, there's the classic excuse of it's not mine, I don't know how it got there, someone sent it to me, or even I thought I deleted that.
Well, I think for any parent, it's a relief to know that those people don't have the opportunity to abuse Australian children.
Home Affairs Minister Peter Dutton is the man who's placed a target on pedophiles both within and abroad. So far this year, 186 travellers have been busted at airports with child exploitation material. Another 100 pedophiles have been stopped from even getting on board the plane.
They work very closely with outside agencies, gathering intelligence, working with international partners, and preferably stop people from coming onto our shores in the first place.
He's also deporting record numbers of sex offenders convicted in Australia. People like South African-born pastor David Vollmer, who was part of the Evil 8 pedophile ring in Perth. So far this year, 107 foreign-born sex offenders have had their visas cancelled. Over the past 3 years, that number is almost 400. Will be booted out as soon as their prison term ends.
We want to make sure that we cancel visas wherever possible and exclude those people from our country because we don't want them being anywhere near our kids.
New laws are also stopping registered child sex offenders from leaving Australia. 27 Australians were stopped from flying since December. This 67-year-old Aussie caught with child exploitation material was charged and will face court. This 46-year-old Australian was busted at Perth Airport coming in from Vietnam. A search of his bags found a mobile phone and laptop containing child exploitation images. He too was charged to face court.
So when they're Australian, we arrest them and charge them, and when they're prosecuted, it is up to 10 years imprisonment and more than $500,000 in fines.
Australian investigators also share those seized images with international agencies to help track down victims across the world.